we're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought. We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort, and China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Kyle, I know you saw Peter Thiel's comments, too, about the Chinese. They do a lot of Bitcoin mining. There is a digital yuan in the works, I guess, or at least there's plans for things like that. Is that a challenge to the dollar in terms of global supremacy? And is it, when I read it, I had to laugh that China is debasing our currency. I said that we may have some domestic debasers that we need to talk to about that as well. But is that what you're seeing from China? And do we need to be aware of that and get cracking?
Yeah, so Joe, this is the single most important move on the global chessboard in the last 20 years, is how the United States and its allies interfaces or doesn't interface with the Chinese central bank digital currency. There are 80% of central banks around the world are in some stage of researching or rolling out a new digital currency. 35 are in advanced stages and close to rollout. The US is in close. What we must understand is a central bank digital currency isn't a currency. It's our adoption of a Chinese tech stack. It's basically a currency that knows everything about you if you have it. They know who you are. They know how you spend your money. They will export their digital authoritarianism on you, Joe. If you say anything negative about China and you happen to have some Chinese CBDC in your account, they can just turn it off. They can make it so that you can't spend it. This is something that we must, you say, get cracking. This is something that we and our allies must realize is the single largest threat to our rules-based order and democracies around the world.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works. Because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that everything is planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book. Remember, those books are mandatory because they show you how the world really works, and it is so important right now. Also, those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon, much love, keep it coming. And then also those who are shopping at both stores, much love, keep it coming. And guys, of course, we're going to get into Bitcoin and cryptos first. But as you can see in that CNBC video, they are heating up the China versus U.S. Remember what Anthony Sutton has taught us. And I'm going to get into that later. But right now, guys, we have Bitcoin and cryptos moving up. Just like last month, guys, if you did not take advantage of the open interest this month, you will have next month. So you have May and June. After June, remember what I stated. Remember, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is still locked up. That's the only reason they're squeezing us and keeping us up. Remember, it's all manipulated. We had XRP get over $1 billion in open interest. Who you think did that? So, guys, make sure we are paying attention to the moving pieces, what I teach you. But definitely take advantage. Don't forget to pay attention to the actual indicators. We have volume, we have tether, and we have USDC. Do not forget about the Fed repos. Remember, they have $50 billion a day. That's $1.5 trillion per month to manipulate the yields. Only thing you have to do is go to the app and you will see. They've probably been doing around 30 billion over the past few days. So they've definitely been manipulating the yield prices. You can easily see it. Only those who understand finances take the time to do your research, so therefore you know the proper investment. Now, as we get, the inflation has increased. We got inflation numbers today. Yes, this stuff is boring, but this stuff is going to pay off for you guys. The fact is that inflation is picking up higher than what they wanted, and we know the Fed already said they're going to let things run hot. They wanted to run hot because we know they cause a problem. They wait for the reaction, and then they run in with the solution. And we know what that solution is. Cryptocurrencies, the deflationary weapon that they have, but you're walking into what? Total control. What did the guy say about China? We know China's currency is going to be the world reserve currency to dethrone the United States, but it was all planned. Do not forget Anthony Sutton. Now we have back on the actual 15th, we have Coinbase IPO tomorrow, going close to 100 times earnings. Is that price and is that valuation right now ridiculous? Yes, it is. They only made like $1.3 billion last year for the total year. This year, I think the first quarter, they made like $1.8 billion. But still, that doesn't equate to $100 billion. And they said it could double on IPO. So guys, we know who's manipulating it. We know it's the Fed. But also remember what they're trying to do. They want to tokenize all stocks. So stop looking at Coinbase as just cryptos that we see today. Think about Coinbase listing Tesla like Binance. They're letting you know what they're doing. You know I've been over this time and time again. So all stocks will be tokenized, put on blockchain, and on Coinbase, where you actually can buy a fraction of the actual stock instead of buying the whole. While people are getting more educated when it comes to finances, we know now they're going to be putting in schools finances. They want the kids to learn now because they're changing the system. So the fact is that now a kid is going to, instead of buying the full Tesla, they can buy a piece. The same way we're doing with cryptos now. But that's part of the plan. And guys, do not forget, this time in this space right now, you're dealing with penny stocks right now. All the stocks out there, VeChain, you see KuCoin supply right now. That's the reason why KuCoin is moving up. Look at the supply. Basically, you have Binance volume, which makes no sense whatsoever, but the price keeps moving up. And when Binance moves down, you see what? You see a lot of the DeFi projects move down. When Binance makes that move up, you see what? The actual DeFi projects move up. So guys, make sure you're paying attention to these moving pieces. Easy money. Anytime Binance makes a strong move, Pancake follows right behind it. You see this in DeFi. It's total control. Only thing you have to do is take the time, sit back, and learn. Get you one or two cryptos. That's it. One or two if you're new. You only have a few $100s. Don't spread yourself thin because your profit is going to be thin. I'm not your financial advisor, not financial advice. Please do your own research. AGI is one of them. Y'all know I talk about AGI all the time. Look at the price now from where it was when I was telling you. Just take the look. Look at Binance. Look at all, if you're part of my Patreon, you already know. In this crypto space, they are giving away free money right now. That's not going to last. When inflation starts going up, we have these yields rising like crazy. They're going to start tapering the balance sheet, raising interest rates. Create the problem, wait for the reaction, run in with the solution. They're going to cause the United States pain, unbelievable pain. I'm going to bring you a second video on the housing market. Yes, it's a little boring, but you need to know what they're doing. So therefore, you understand that everything is planned out. Now, guys, getting over into the actual news, getting into that video as far as with CNBC. We know who owns the media corporations. It's 4 corporations that own all of your media. Control what you see, hear, no matter what. The fact is they're going to keep revving this up. China versus America. China, Russia versus America. They're going to let the digital yuan flourish. Why are they going to let it flourish? Because we know that CBDCs in the United States, CBDCs in Europe are illegal. The forefathers knew better. But unfortunately, the masses are not educated on finances, and they're going to fall for it every time. Only thing they got to do is say, hey, look, we're going to airdrop you $2,000 per month free of charge. And the people are going to run to it. But what they're not understanding is that this money is going to be controlled. They're going to be able to shut it off. Remember what David said of R3. With cryptocurrencies, we can airdrop you money and give you 60 days to use it. If you don't use it, poof, it's gone. That's right, people. Now, we had Bitcoin was on The Simpsons, the price infinity. But guys, if you constantly see it in the media, we constantly see Bitcoin in the media. We know that China controls majority of the hash rate. They've built a narrative around Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the distraction while they're building the 4th industrial revolution. And don't get me wrong, we all know when we've been in crypto space, we've made a lot of money. And what I always say is stay diversified. You know I teach you and I give you the truth. Yes, the truth hurts, but what? It sets you free. Bitcoin was made for payments, not a store of value. Just like the stock market is manipulated, cryptos are definitely manipulators. Nothing but an algorithm. So guys, like I stated, please diversify yourself. Cryptos, gold, silver. I'm not your financial advisor, not financial advice. Please do your own research. But yes, cryptos are not going anywhere as part of the 4th industrial revolution. But these prices where we at, stock market, cryptos, it's all speculation. Remember, the Federal Reserve printed 20% of all money in existence in 2020. But guys, that was for a reason, because they knew that they were going to be building this 4th industrial revolution. They need that money back to build it. Like I tell you, go back to the actual tech boom, the internet boom that we had. You had all these companies. Right now, we only have a few tech companies that run everything. Same thing goes with your food, and the same for your media, guys. The New World Order controls it all. Now, guys, we have Ethereum hits all-time highs ahead of the Berlin fork. And then also, guys, we had Nas Investment Company as an early investor in Coinbase. So when that IPO hits, they can make $100 million. And guys, remember what I said, everything is going to be tokenized and put on blockchain. We have the EU Investment Bank is going to be using blockchain to trade, settle, and sell digital bonds. And then also, guys, we have insurance company Lennox Foundation and the American Association on Insurance Services going to be using DLT to cut costs for insurance carriers. So definitely, guys, everything is going to be on blockchain. And then lastly, we have Consensus closed at $65 million funding round. Backed by who? That's right, JP Morgan, MasterCard, UBS. We know they're building the Federal Reserve 2.0. Don't forget to check my video out. But guys, all I have for you, don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher, and the New World Order book. Also, if you're new to cryptos, Coinbase, BitChute, Binance, do not forget BookLink. Crypto links are in the description. Also, the Crypto Teacher stock channel, do not forget, you have your Cobalt, chip stocks, banking, gaming, where everybody's sitting at home. You got that home stocks to see where the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home getting free money and waiting on that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and y'all have a wonderful day.